Hello, my name is Mary Elizabeth Davis, and I'm the superintendent of Henry County Schools. And today I'm joined by our leadership team of the Luella cluster in an attempt to build some conversation and some connection with our community as we navigate this unprecedented closure to the school year and really start to put our sights on what it means to get started again in the new year. Let's start with some introductions. I'm going to turn it over to you, Mr. Smith.
Hello, everybody. I'm Jerry Smith, principal of Luella High School, and as always, go Lions.
I'm Mary Carol Stanley. I'm the principal at Luella Middle School.
Hi, I'm Carla Montgomery, principal at Luella Elementary.
Hi, I'm Jessalyn Askew, principal of Bethlehem Elementary School, home of the Bobcats.
Well, as we get started today, we want to first acknowledge that our hearts and our thoughts are with you and your family during this season. We hope you are well, we hope you are safe, and we do hope you know that you can call upon us if we can be helpful in any way. And that all being said, we also realize the role school plays in your family's life. And so we want to talk just a little bit about how, as a team, we're preparing to close out this school year and still stay strong as a community. We thought we'd talk a little bit about academics, we'd talk about end-of-year traditions, and we would talk about putting our sights on our next year together. So team, let's just start with a conversation about academics. What questions are you hearing, and how are you as a school leader beginning to prepare for the end of the school year academically? Mr. Smith, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I think particularly as we get closer and closer, because actually seniors don't have that long left, everybody is really trying to figure how final grades are going to finish up, about credits, then about the possibility of what the supports will be for those students who need extra support in other ways so that they can finish. Just a lot of conversation about that, and then also everybody trying to navigate, okay, so what does summer school look like? What does all of those things look like? So the information we've put out provides a good background for us, but any clarity, of course, will help everybody.
That's right. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the middle school level and how are some of these academics taking shape for the end of the year?
So I've met with our teachers and like Mr. Smith, a lot of the questions both teachers, students, and parents have expressed to me and my staff is around the end of the year final grades. We've had a lot of success with students that were failing at term 3, have really been able to get that personalized attention through office hours with their teachers and Google Meet and raise their grades. So that's definitely been a positive that we're excited about. So we're still working on what that end of the year is going to look like, but our teachers and students are working really hard to make sure that our students have the best outcome possible.
Ms. Askew, why don't you talk a little bit about the elementary level and sort of what does this grading conversation and end of year work look like?
Well, we too are having conversations with the teachers, with the school council, and the question is just what does the grading look like? So we know, like the middle school stated, we have several students that are more engaged. We actually have connected with some older siblings for some of our primary students that did not have access to a device, and they in turn have become tutors. So thank you to the high school and the middle school for helping them to facilitate their younger ones. But the teachers are wanting to know the grading piece. The parents are wanting to know, if my student hasn't been able to be engaged by way of a device, will my student still have an opportunity to pass? And as we've explained to them that the district did put together packets of information that was standards-based, so that we would still have an opportunity to have some materials be graded. Many of the parents have been taking pictures as they complete the assignments and emailing it to the teachers. So we've been getting grades and we've been getting a lot of participation. So we've been very pleased with that. And we too, on the elementary level, have seen many of our students have their grades to increase because of the additional one-on-one at home with the teachers and with the parents helping as well.
Yeah, and I think that has really been the goal, to be in a season of compassion, but also acknowledging that our education is important and the essential skills and standards of the fourth quarter are important for preparation for the
Yes.
next grade level. And so this balance of really working directly with students and families to find the right approach and to seek opportunities to improve one's grade and to stay engaged as much as possible. And so I think that that's a great point that you make. And Dr. Montgomery, I don't know if you want to add to the sort of elementary uniqueness of Luella Elementary School.
Yes, our teachers have been very successful being able to offer the Google Meet sessions. And what we've done is to divide our week out so that every day of the week, say for example, Monday, they know that they can get extra help on English language arts, and then Tuesdays it would be math. And so we have breakout groups for the students who need that one-to-one session with their teacher or support personnel. And so we've really seen a lot of participation, and I'm very thankful for the district allowing the students to be able to see each other with the cameras now, and that helps so that the teachers can see exactly what they're working on and the students can see a little bit more. That's been wonderful, but the engagement has definitely increased, and we've been able to get the participation and get the students the support that they need.
Can you talk a little bit about what a family should do if their device has broken or if they are having some access challenges? Does anyone have a solution they've been able to
Yes.
provide?
That actually just happened to me yesterday. I had a teacher to reach out to me and say, what do I need to do? I have a parent who sent me a remind message, and she said that the screen is cracked. So it was a simple fix for us on our end where we received the information from district. The support has been great to get the contact information from the parent, get the ID from the computer, send it to our instructional technology support person, and then the device will be mailed to that home. So it's been a very quick, easy fix and turnaround for us, and that's been fabulous.
And that's interesting you bring that up, Carla. Of course, at the high school level, we have AP exams coming up. And so think about an AP student who's having a computer problem, and their AP exam this year is going to be taken on the computer. So we have begun a Google Sheet so that a student who has a problem, a teacher or student has a problem, we put it on the Google Sheet, and we're tracking that so that we make sure that we're helping our technician know what our needs are, and we can all help each other to make sure that particularly the AP students right now, which are the ones that are greatest in play, are able to get the technology that they need along with our other students. So it's been very helpful to have that plan now of we contact our technician, and then our technician works with information services. And then what a luxury that if it requires a new device, it's mailed to their home. That's a great luxury.
That's
and
wonderful.
Dr. Davis, we really appreciate that. That's very
Yes.
helpful.
I agree with Carla and Jerry. The support of our IT department and staff at our school has just been phenomenal for both students and teachers. And our teachers and students have got very creative. They're sharing the call-in number for the Google Meet, so students can still get some support from teachers that way if they don't, while they're waiting on their new device. Sometimes they're able to text something into the teachers. They've all been very creative, and teachers and students have worked together to make sure that everybody has access to what they need.
Yes, I think overall the community of the Henry County Schools has just come together, just band together to make everyone have a successful remote learning experience. The IT department is phenomenal. I had a teacher whose laptop went out. They mailed him a new laptop so he could continue with his Google Meets. But it's just the camaraderie of Henry County Schools that has come together as such a strong community to make this remote learning such a success.
And really, this type of conversation we're having right here, we've remained committed to trying to have as many of these types of conversations so that we can really build the right district systems, but then help transition the customization necessary for each of our cluster communities. And I couldn't agree more that the real culture of the Henry community is just one that we can all be so proud of, having unified and come together to just try to help anyone in any way possible and remove any barrier to continuing to be successful in their education. So I appreciate you bringing that up. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us have grieved what our April and May doesn't include now because of the hopes and dreams we had at the start of the school year. Feels a little bit like it's fallen short. Let's talk a little bit about those end of year experiences and traditions, and begin to share how you're processing that and how you're making adjustments to still celebrate.
Well, I would like to begin with this was going to be our first year ever having a school-wide play production, and it was so disheartening to know that we won't be able to have that live. But what we've done instead is to have the students to do their parts, to have those videoed. And so my music teacher, art teacher, and PE teacher, they are working together to try to splice those videos so that we can still, the show will go on. So we are looking at those traditions and those celebrations that we would normally do to make sure that students are still going to be able to do those because their hearts are there. We want them to be able to celebrate and to have memories. And so we're just really working hard to make sure that those things still happen.
We're working trying to celebrate our fifth grade students. And when I say trying to celebrate them, traditionally, we've celebrated them with an opportunity to do a final walk through the building, in addition to having the seniors come from the high schools to lead the way with that walk. So instead of walking through the building, we're still going to highlight them with a video of highlighting a baby picture, as we've done in the past, and a picture of them at this current stage. So we're going to create our parade, if you will, through a video. But that's one of the experiences that the students have always enjoyed. Like Dr. Montgomery said, we generally have a end of the year musical, which unfortunately we have not been able to have because of the change in things, but looking for a way to still highlight those students. But one of the things we really want to do is we want to have our students have that final walk through Bethlehem, just as they have in the past.
And at the middle school, we have a lot of traditions too. It's a very big transition time in middle school with new sixth graders coming in and our eighth graders going to high school. So our counseling staff and sixth grade teachers are creating a video to welcome our rising sixth graders and to do a Google Meet town hall with our rising sixth grade parents so that they're able to ask questions and get information ahead of time. And then when we're able to return to the buildings, we'll schedule an actual in the brick and mortar school orientation type event. And with our eighth graders, we're trying to recognize them virtually and then plan for a time when they can be back in the building to say their goodbyes to the building and their teachers and experience life in middle school one last time.
And then we're going to do a virtual town hall with our rising ninth graders from Luella Middle to begin that transition for them. Our fine arts department has put together a fine arts video that talks about the importance of the arts. And I think that has helped them bring a little bit of closure to the disappointment of not getting to do the spring musical, of not having those band concerts, chorus concerts, but to hear what they said from their heart is, wow. I just emailed when I actually saw the raw cut of it. I emailed my chorus teacher and said, I'm a puddle. I mean, it was amazing. And then of course, we have the senior thing. Dr. Davis, I know you have said very honestly in your message to seniors and your message to our community, how you hurt for the seniors. And one of the things that we really are trying to do, and I'm really trying to get our seniors to accept, is they will forever be an unusual class. They will forever be remembered. And so let's be remembered in a unique way, in a way that's positive, in a way that says, even though all this happened, we still are proud, and we still, for us, once a lion, always a lion. And so we're trying to think of things to help them do that. Like, for example, the crazy principal of Luella High School may do a virtual last walk of the halls. Nobody will want to see that, but the kids would get to experience, and I could narrate some of the things that I know are important to them, that type of thing. We're going to do some tribute videos and certainly continue to work with my senior leadership, my kids, in designing what will help them best to make the transition. And I guess that's the other thing I wanted to say. Among us, among our 4 schools and among the 4 principals, is the idea of, I think we've all been strong communicators. And so even though our community is hurting, even though there's so much uncertainty, I think there is a sense of they're working hard, they're going to take care of this, they're going to do the best job they can. That central message also comes from you, Dr. Davis, and I think that's important too, that there is that understanding, particularly in unique times like this, that we are going to do that, and that's part of why we're here.
And there is definitely no doubt that we collectively care very deeply about the experience children have with, through, and now remotely associated with school. And it remains at the top of our mind to care about still doing that well. And so hopefully this conversation just gives a little bit of insight into that kind of commitment among the team of leaders that you see. You know, I think as we wrap up just maybe our brief little conversation, what words do you want to share with the Luella community as those tuning in can see this team leading together?
I think for me, it would be that despite some of the traditions we're not able to uphold in our traditional way, we're creating new traditions. I have a team of teachers who have created a video personalized to all their students, naming students, recognizing them, letting them know how much they miss them. And students have reached out to say how much that meant to them. So I think we'll see some new traditions come from this and a stronger sense of community overall between our individual school members and our entire cluster.
I'd just like to say we are definitely stronger together and better together. It's been such a wonderful experience bonding through these difficult times and seeing what can we do together as a school family to make this better for our kids, because that's the whole reason why we're here, and we want to do what's best for our kids, and it's been great bonding together to make that happen.
And I just want to let the community know how proud we are that we're a part of the Luella cluster, that they have really worked together. We miss everyone in the Luella cluster. We're just creating new traditions, but truly, 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 our heart misses each and every one of our students, each of our parents, and we just get such delight when we go into the Google Meet times, the opportunities to see the students. So we miss them. We are better together, but we certainly miss our Luella families.
And for us at the high school, we certainly miss all of those connections. I have said to my faculty multiple times in virtual meetings and to many of the classrooms I've popped into, I think that's a big word. We miss each other. And that's a powerful statement for an educational institution,
Yes.
that we miss each other. And that's been, I think, very powerful for me. And then the other thing that I've been taken by, and certainly my peer principals have alluded to this as well, we're not trying to go back to the normal. We're understanding that this will create a new normal, that this will create new. And the thing I feel so strongly about with our cluster is that we can accept and embrace that. We understand that that's a part of our job here. And I've begun to see that conversation happening across the work we're doing. That too is a powerful statement to make for a community that is as, I guess, hurting as much as we are.
Yes.
That comes from the better together. That also comes from the central core of believing in every child. And so I kind of take that away from this.
You know, I don't think we will ever again take for granted the opportunity to be in one another's presence. School is about the relationships and the relationships with peers and with those in different professional roles. And to say that we deeply miss one another is a testament to relationships being just so strong. And so I appreciate you saying that. And I think as an organization, as a community of schools, we are looking ahead to the next school year with optimism, with belief that we will actually have learned a lot that we can now do better on behalf of our families and our students. And while we want to close this school year strong, we know that we will start next school year with a lot of reflection and celebration that otherwise would have been happening right now. And so this has been a great conversation. I am always inspired by the Luella leadership, and I'm thankful we could have a minute to dialogue with the community. So at this time, we're going to sign off, and we look forward to seeing you next time.